Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm in the pre-blade show rush here, have a lot of videos to do, so hopefully I keep this brief because I need to get them done. Well, we're going to take a look at a prototype, and this is from my friend Adam Purvis, so full disclosure, I've known Adam for, I don't know, at least a couple years. We met at Blade Show last year for the first time, and Adam is well, he's a lot of things. He's a custom pocket clip maker. He was a custom knife maker for kind of a short stint. He's modified knives. He kind of does a lot of things related to knives. And he had an idea for a production knife that he wanted to produce. And so he approached Elijah Isham, had him do some of the CAD work or the computer work based on his design. And lo and behold, here we have the actual knife. It's called a Primordial. It's built by We Knives. And again, prototype, there'll be a couple changes. We'll go over that. Here's some of his other work. This is a custom pocket clip he made for me for my Benchmade Anthem. So anyways, we'll go through specs, overall impressions, details. I'll outline what's changing, all the normal stuff. Let's jump into the specs. And this isn't a terribly large knife here. It's actually pretty much right on point with the Kershaw Dividend as far as size goes. And then the other normal size comparison, we have the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. So spec-wise, looking at a blade length as far as I measured it of just about 3.2 inches, give or take. Handle length of 4.1, total length open, just about 7.3 inches. Does weigh in at 3.1 ounces, so fairly lightweight, you know, for the size and so forth. The blade stock is coming in at 0.157, so obviously not as thin as the Dividend, but a little bit more in line with the Para 2. And then it comes down to a thickness behind the edge of 0.027 inches, and the Para 2 is 0.025. So thickness behind the edge really close with the Para 2. This is done in a hollow grind, whereas like the Para 2 is done in a flat grind. So a couple other specs: handle thickness 0.51 inches. And then as far as all the rest of the specs, ceramic bearing, ceramic detent ball. The hardware throughout is stainless steel. It's all done in T8. Adam was telling me he doesn't really like T6 hardware. He prefers a larger head size for the T8 Torx. Titanium pocket clip. The pocket clip will be changing a bit. M390 blade steel, if I have not already mentioned that. And I think that's it. Price, I guess we'll include that with the specs. So we're still about 90 days out as of, what is today, the 28th of May, 2018. So we're still about 90 days out, give or take, from these things actually landing when we will be done with production run. Adam will open up pre-orders 30 days prior to them landing, so pretty much in 2 months he'll open up pre-orders. The price will be $240 for the pre-order price, and then standard retail will be closer to $290. So that should be it for all the specs. Obviously, titanium and carbon fiber. For deployment, it uses this opening hole, and I think that's everything. I think we're finally through all the specs. All right, overall impressions. It's actually really, really, really good. Adam sent it to me just for feedback. He said, you know, I don't need you to do a video, I just want your feedback on it. I said, you know, I'm going to do a video anyway. But I think everything is really well done on this knife. He envisioned it more as kind of an everyday carry, gentleman-sized knife. I think he accomplished that. The fit and the finish is incredible. The action is just stupid good. They really did a good job. Again, this is a prototype, but if the production run is executed to this level, then really impressive. And some of the different blade finishes are stonewash like this one. Then he'll have like kind of a black stonewash, which is like a PVD coated. He's going to try to talk them into a third blade finish, but We'll see if it happens, so I'm not going to say what it is unless he can actually finalize it. But he's going to try to push for a third blade finish, which I think a lot of us would like. But yeah, it's well done. Ergonomically, it fits in the hand. There's no hot spots whatsoever. My XL hand, I can get a full-size grip on it, just barely, but it's very comfortable. I think for his vision for it, which is more of a gentleman's carry, I think he nailed it. You know, just everything's well done. It feels good in the hand. It's a good size. It's a good weight. It's a good thickness behind the edge. It's a good design. It looks good. It's nice and clean. Yeah, I think when I first saw it, my initial concern was actually this blade opening rectangle, hole, whatever you want to call it. I first saw this and I'm like, man, I hope that's easy to open. I had some concerns initially about this being, you know, usable and friendly, and honestly, I have no problem opening it up whatsoever. Middle finger, you know, thumb. It's really easy to open. If you want to get fancy, try to use your first finger, you can do that. I mean, you can do a Spidey drop with it. You could just go old school and do a two-hand opening. So a few different options. It works well in every regard. The blade retention's good. So I mean, I really don't have any feedback for him on how to improve it. He had a couple things that he told me he was already planning to do, which I said not necessary, but all good ideas. So let's get into I guess the details a little bit more. As I mentioned, hollow grind, M390, the slightest amount of recurve. I don't think anyone with a fixed angle system will have any trouble touching up that edge on a fixed angle system. It's not a heavy recurve, so got kind of a little clip point blade here with the swedge up top. The spine of the blade has been, the edges have been knocked off on the top, which is nice, so there's no sharp edges. And then they did a chamfer in the opening hole. So that's not sharp, but it still works well. You know, I mean, one of the given trades with these types of opening holes is, you know, do we leave, you know, the edge on like Spyderco does? They typically leave a 90-degree for their opening hole so that, you know, you catch and you have a little tiny bit of bite, nothing sharp, but a little bit of bite, so that you don't slip on it. Or, you know, do we chamfer a little bit, make it a little more comfortable, and risk giving up that traction? But this one, you know, again, I don't have any trouble, and thankfully I have not slipped, because every time I say I have no trouble on camera, I always slip, but works very well. So again, that was my area of concern. Happily, it's not an area of concern now that I have it in hand. The stop pin is integrated into the blade, and then we have a track cut into the handle, just like we've seen with lots of knives. So it keeps it, so you don't have to have a stop pin in the back here, and, you know, I don't know if it's easier to manufacture that way, but it's a different way to manufacture. So that's the blade. The handle, stonewashed titanium. Got a couple different planes and facets here on the titanium. We've got the carbon fiber. One cool thing is that you can disassemble the knife without having to, you know, take the carbon fiber completely off. So that's nice. I think you just attach this one at the back on both sides. You don't have to disengage this screw. Anyways, it is, I mean, it's a frame lock. You might want to call it a, I don't know if it would constitute a bolster lock necessarily. Probably not, because no, it's not. Inlays down here, it's not up on the top. We've got an over travel stop, and one other change he's going to make, even though not necessary, he's going to do some internal milling right here to give a little more relief for the lock bar. As it currently sits, you guys can see the lock bar sits proud, so it's currently easy to get over and disengage it. And again, there's not a lot of lock bar pressure, and so it's super simple, but he felt like that's an area where, although not necessary, could be a slight improvement. You know, I've done quite a bit of weight reduction with the windows cut out, and it's fairly thin titanium. It's not like it's thick pieces at all. And then let's look at the inlays. really clean. No major gaps or emissions, no voids in the carbon fiber. Again, this is a prototype. Perhaps they're putting their best foot forward, but the quality that I've seen from WE up to this point, I honestly don't foresee that being a problem. Single screw construction for the pocket clip. Adam is going to try and do, he's well known obviously for making a lot of aftermarket, custom clips. So he's exploring options to see how he can bring some Timastis clips or other things to this model, of course. So, I think that's pretty much it. Again, it's, centering is good, lockup is nice and solid. It's, you've got a sharpening notch here for sharpening to make that easier. Everything is kind of blended from the blade to the handle well. Again, it's a really nice piece. I think he did a good job. I think it turned out really well. And WE is going to kill it on manufacturing, no doubt. So a few other considerations or things to think about. One of the concerns when you do these short runs is what's the warranty going to look like well into the future? If you buy this piece and you love it and you carry it for years, what if you have a problem? How are you going to get it fixed? How are you going to get it addressed? And some considerations are that, Adam's obviously going to get some additional parts sent to him so that he has a stock of parts to repair these for warranty. He's also, he's made custom knives, he's modified knives, he's fixed knives, he makes clips. So he has the skill set to where if there's a problem, he can probably fix it without any issue rather than just having to swap for a whole new knife. So I think that's kind of an added sense of security for down the line. He's got the skill set to address and repair, these knives, assuming they ever need it. So his only vendor for these is going to be Fanatic Edge, who he's been friends with for a while. Fanatic Edge does a lot of modifying too, laser work, anno. So, if you want these and you want them even crazier, you can always look at Fanatic Edge. And in the initial run that he's doing the pre-sale for, there's only going to be 100 of these made. So I don't want to say it's limited, but it's not like he's doing 1,000. So keep that in mind. Changes. One was the lock bar relief cut right in here that I already told you guys about. The screw here for the stainless steel insert, he's going to go with a flat screw so it sits a little bit closer to the titanium. That's another change. And then the last change is actually this pocket clip. This pocket clip really hooks onto your jeans and does not want to let go. It goes in the pocket really easy, but doesn't want to come out of the pocket. So you guys can see it's an interesting design. I've never seen it done before. So that is changing to, more of a standardized pocket clip, no doubt, like this custom one he made me. So those are the 3 changes off the bat. So anyways, that is a look at this piece. Really well done. I'm really happy for him. I hope the production run goes well and it all turns out and just to be something that's really cool. Adam is a full-time firefighter, and so this isn't his main gig. He said he's more than happy if he needs to sit on the inventory, or he's not. This isn't his bread and butter, and so there's really not a lot of stress. He just wanted to see his design kind of come to the market and hope it's something that people will love and people will carry. And so, it just takes a lot of stress out of the equation, and it should make Adam really easy to work with, although he always has been anyway. So, before I ramble any further, we will cut it off there. A lot of more videos to get to. If you guys want to get in on this, I will put his Instagram in the description box below. Hit him up, ask him questions. He's more than happy to respond. Notify you once the pre-order goes live, all that other good stuff. So thanks for watching. You can always follow me on Instagram as Epic Snuggle Bunny for more daily content. Take care.